Hello, welcome to this shared channel, the Eurofan. That's me. After the flawless performance offered to us by Alika in last year's contest, with which she got an outstanding 8th place in the final ranking, Estonia moves forward with its participation, hoping to keep that ascending projection that could take them to their second victory at the contest. Now we are going to check out who will be the artist that will take the baton by representing the Baltic country, this time in Malmo. Let's go! For today's episode, I'm going to reveal the Estonian entry for Eurovision 2024, which will be represented by the groups 5miinust Puuluup with the song Nendest, Narkootikumidest Ei Tea Me, Küll, Midagi, which in English translates as "We really do not know about these drugs." And before moving forward, I want to make a call. Dear songwriters, it will be truly appreciated that in the following compositions, you keep the song's titles in a shorter length and much easier to remember. Because this is definitely that title too long to say and pronounce. My goodness, no one can remind this later. Having said this, let's review a little of the biography and career of both groups and how they joined to live the Eurovision experience on Sweden. First, we have 5miinust, which is an Estonian hip-hop group, coming from the coastal town of Bosu, located in northern Estonia. The group's name in this case is the acronym of a phrase in Estonian, which in English translates as 5 minuses. Maybe by referring to themselves as misfits, rejected, or unimportant. Initially they were a quintet, but one of them will leave the group from last year to pursue a solo career, remaining then as a quartet. Nowadays the group is formed by Christian Jakobsson alias Kobba, Mikkel Tang alias Babaka, Carl Kibasik alias Polja Korea, and Bryn Thompson alias Lancelot. They began their musical career in 2015, although they will have more recognition during 2018, after the release of their first 2 studio albums and an EP during last year under a local record label, until 2019, in which they will switch to a much more internationally renowned record label. They will release singles in the coming years, by themselves or featuring other artists, as well as an EP in 2021. Which has topped the musical charts in the country, in addition to winning awards for their musical work. Next we have Puuluup, which is an Estonian psychedelic folk duo, whose exact procedence is actually unknown. Their stage name is an Estonian word that can be translated in English as wood magnifier. The duo is formed in this case by musician Ramo Teda and anthropologist Marko Väisälä, both playing the musical instrument known as talharpa, giving a clue to the duo's name and using loopers. They pursue a musical career since 2014, having 2 studio albums today under a local record label. They are known for blending traditional music with elements from psychedelic music. It is to remind in this case that the musical genre had its peak during the 1960s, declining later during the 1970s. And since the 1990s, it has been having a progressive resurgence that stands still nowadays. They often perform on musical festivals both in Estonia and abroad, having also received many awards in their native country for their musical work. Both groups will get to know each other during last year, resulting in a strong friendship between all of them since the day one, even by being in opposite sides of the musical scene in the country. This friendship will eventually produce many joint compositions, and then they thought about giving a further step in their musical careers by sending one of those compositions to Epilogue, the well-known Estonian national final, to showcase their particular style to the rest of Europe. Let's take a look then how they struggled that joint path that will mark the beginning of the Eurovision adventure for them. Following the habit, the Estonian public broadcaster will organize what is going to be the 16th edition of their national final Epilogue, which selects the Estonian representative for the contest. For this, a submission period was opened between mid-September and late October last year for the Estonian artists and songwriters who wanted to send their proposals, under the same conditions already applied in past editions. By the deadline, it was known that the broadcaster received a total of 215 proposals, keeping mostly the same record from last year. Then a 41-member expert panel will select 20 artists, with 2 additional backups that will participate in the national final, and that will be announced in early last November, being 5miinust and Puuluup among the selected ones. The participating songs will be released in early last December, although some of them were leaked prior to the official release. Here outstands the overwhelming favoritism towards 5miinust and Puuluup. From the very first time it was known, both the song and the official music video, getting viral in the country and topping the musical charts at the same time. For this edition, the national final will make some changes to the format, as part of the production team relieved by the broadcaster shortly after last year's contest. First, the semifinals round will be reduced to a single semifinal, where 15 semifinalists will compete for 5 spots for the final show, joining to 5 pre-qualified artists, having 10 finalists this time. The selection method for the qualifiers will be made in 2 rounds. In a first round, the combination of the votes from the jury and the public will select the first 3 finalists, and in a second round, the public will select exclusively the remaining 2 finalists. During the final show, the method will remain similar, with the jury and the public selecting the 3 super finalists, and then the public deciding the winner of the competition. Here it's important to remark that in both shows, the results only reveal both the qualifiers and the winner without revealing any scores, having the broadcaster the right of publishing the full results after the final show. 5miinust and Puuluup will make their first appearance in the semifinal, having qualified to the final show after the voting from the jury and the public in the first round. Soon thereafter, in the final show, which took place in last mid-February, both groups will become one of the super finalists after the votes from the jury and the public. Then, in the super final, the voting results confirmed the predictions, with 5miinust and Puuluup becoming the winners of the national final, having then the right of representing Estonia on the main stage of Malmö. A few days later, after the final show, the broadcaster released the full voting results, confirming the initial favoritism they had since the very beginning, being the most voted artist in all the stages of the competition until their indisputable victory. I just only know that I do not know about that. Let's take a further look to this singular proposal they are bringing us for the contest. As expected, the melody blends the musical genres of both groups, hip-hop and psychedelic folk. I do not know if this particular mix has something to do with, but it happens in my case that when I listen to the melody, I get goosebumps throughout all the song, like being myself in a sort of trance. I guess it is part of the character of psychedelic folk which I have not listened previously. On the other hand, the voices of all of them are suitable for the genre and style of the song, which does not require too extraordinary vocal skills. The lyrics have been written by 5miinust members, while Puuluup was in charge of the melody. Outstanding in this case that it is the first time in 11 years that the country sings an entry in their native language, Estonian, about the context behind the lyrics. According to them, it just came after a car trip between Carl and Marco, with the latter one telling to the first one that he did not know anything about his drugs, but that he could sing about that. This comment will be the common thread for the composition they will do later between all of them. Reading the lyrics in more detail, previously translated of course, it tells in an ironical way and maybe somewhat funny of themselves trying to convince to the police officers that the substances they have are not theirs and that they are not drug addicts. This also has to do with the song's title in a very intentional way. If we remove the words in parentheses, the title will translate as "We do not know about drugs," which goes on as an absolutely shameless denial. But if we take them back again, the title has a different angle, by meaning, well, not these ones. There are also 2 details on the lyrics which come to attention. The fact of using sunglasses to hide their pupils for fun, or maybe for a slightly different reason, make your own thoughts. And the way the police perceive people according to their social status. addressing it as a social criticism or a statement of intelligent humor. At first sight, there is no specific message delivered with the song, although it stands out the usual discussion about the use of drugs in general. Without getting further in this point, it addresses the question if they are used in a safe and controlled way in the context of a personal recreational use, or if are abuse of them, leading eventually to the physical or mental health problems we already know, and that end up by affecting all the areas in our life. Certainly, it is a quite noteworthy proposal, raising curiosity on how they will portray the concept described in the lyrics through the official music video, so let's take a look at it. The plot begins with the guys of 5miinust as undercover police officers, which will be checking out the sketch portraits of the men they are looking for. In this case, the guys are Puuluup as the drug dealers, with two of them riding horses and the other two going by car. Mikkel starts to perform the first verse, alternating with shots of Puuluup being in a sort of abandoned place with many people around. Some of them sitting on a battered couch, and other ones trying to stay warm close to an improvised campfire. There are scenes often scenes with Marco, greeting to unidentified people by being on turnbacks. It is obviously clear what will be happening, so I'm not going to explain too much about it. Towards the chorus, while Christian and Marco sing, the guys from below are playing their doll harpas, shortly after seeing them doing a funny dance, while there is a succession of many other shots previously seen. For the second verse, both Marco and Carl sing in different instants, while the plot remains mostly the same. But later, by the bridge, the scene changes and both groups find each other. Marco and Ramo turn their heads back suddenly by perceiving them there. Also, you can notice that all of them wear sunglasses all the time, matching as well what is said in that part of the lyrics. The context behind it explains by itself. There are alternate shots of both groups, like anticipating a possible fight or duel between them, but they use altered objects instead of guns, with the guys on 5miinust using bracelet counters, and the guys from below the arcs from their tall harpas, while Prit sings during the bridge. Then, when you think Marco is about to take a weapon out from his jacket, he takes out a flyer down by themselves which says Hiukande Tren Kostantsuga, which in English translates as the harpa training with dance. Towards the last chorus, all of them are seen doing the funny dance like a flash mob, focusing them from different angles, until the performance finishes with a distant shot of them while they keep dancing, seeing by the end the flyer from before on the wet floor. From the music video, it can be understood why it has become a sensation in Estonia. So there was expectation as well ahead of their live performance in the national final. Let's take a look then how was their participation at Epilogue. The performance begins with the guys of Puuluup supported by their backs and their legs bent at the center of the stage while they play the tall harpas. Then later, the guys of 5miinust starts to perform the first verse from the stands with the public, approaching little by little to the stage, which has a predominantly yellow lighting and seeing white smoke often. They get to the stage close by the first chorus, setting a kind of street fight with the guys of Puuluup while they keep singing. In some moment, while that scene is developing, it comes to attention the pupil of an eye with a blinking sparkle at the center, appearing in the soul-lit screen on the stage, making a contrast with the guys of 5miinust using sunglasses like in the music video, thus evidencing the background of the track. For those who do not know, the first noticeable signs for the use of drugs are seen in the eyes. By the second verse, it takes place the same funny dance from the music video, for the rejoice of the audience present in the venue, while in the bridge all of them are moving around between the stage and the stands. Towards the last chorus, the lighting is much more dynamic, while they do the same funny dance again, until they gather at the front of the stage, with a huge white smoke behind them to finish then the performance. With this performance, we can now stand how excited was the audience from start to end, surely evidencing that favoritism they had since the very beginning, as it was known later with the reveal of the final results. The only objection I have is that their vocal performance was a little weak during the performance. I'm not saying in this case that they do an extraordinary vocal extravaganza, but at least to keep the toning and intonation during the song. Making a summary of all the comments, the Estonian entry for this year is outstandingly exceptional. Although it could be influenced by the Karija effect from last year, it is one of the most original and unique proposals of the edition without any doubt. However, I have the question on how the audience will react to this proposal, mostly because of the quite serious discussion which generates itself the use of drugs. Some people will find it hilarious and fun, but for some other people not that much. For the staging in Mongo, it is not clear if they will appeal to the same one they have done in the national final, or if it will have some adjustments ahead of the contest. Although there is no doubt that the already famous dance will not be missed in the performance, I can tell you. On the other hand, it was known that they slightly modified the lyrics, as because of the contest rules not registered trademarks are allowed, which was for the known brand Lace in this case. However, the original song will be available in the upcoming collaborative album that Bob Cruz will release in a few days. It is also confirmed that they will participate in some of the Eurovision pre-parties of the season to present their singular proposal, leaving the expectation on how they will finally present it when they get a turn to be on the main stage during next May. And you, what do you think about the Estonian entry for this year? Come on and leave your comments down below. I'm curious on how this discussion develops. And this is it for today's episode. Before I finish, I invite you to like this video so you can help me to spread it to more people. Subscribe to my channel to be aware of the upcoming reviews, and enable notifications by hitting the bell, and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.